Hello everyone, it's Thursday, and tonight we're going to be doing German Riesling, okay? It's called Clean Slate. When I first saw this, it reminded me of a little pep talk every nun I used to have used to say to me opening day. We'll start with a clean slate, Mr. Winter. But what we have here is Moselle, it's the Moselle River, which runs right past this vineyard. Here we are again, water, climate, hills, but it's in France, it's a 300-mile river, and it comes from France, and it goes right past the vineyard. And it's, in France, it's called the Moselle River, which two S's. In Germany, it's called Moselle. So this is a Moselle wine, okay, from the Moselle region, okay? And they're noted for 60% of their wines are Riesling in that region, okay? And Germany, 2/3 of German wines are white to begin with, of a white grape. And the largest, and 20% would be Riesling, but this region is 60% Riesling, okay? And it's because of the climate, and they're called clean slate because slate is the kind of ground that it's grown in, okay? It's not a clay, it's not a limestone, it's a slate. And what that slate does is it's the slate off the side of the mountains. It's very picturesque. And it runs from 800 feet to 300 feet, the steepness, okay? Matter of fact, they call the upper, the middle, and the lower, okay? And you get three different flavors from each. The upper would be a peach, the bottom would be more of a mineral, and the middle would be more of a lemonish, okay? So what you have in these, with this, and the area is extremely picturesque, beautiful old castles, and the area is unchanged. They have an 800-year-old castle that is pristine. It survived a lot of wars because it's so rural and where it is, okay? Now, the climate is perfect. See, a Riesling grape needs a long, cool climate, because if it gets a warm climate, it burns the grape. Matter of fact, this is a 2018, and 2018 was the best in 10 years and had a 25% greater yield than any other year. Then 19 was not as good. It was too hot in the August, and they actually call it sunburning of the grape. The grapes got sunburned, and then they had 2 weeks of wet in August. So that didn't work. But 2000, these wines are excellent. And this is a great wine. This is the most versatile wine you can have with food, okay? Because you can eat with spice, okay? It's a 2018. This sells for, you can get this around $10 a bottle, okay? This rates an 89, okay? And it's a partnership. The owner is one of the owner of the vineyard is one of the largest. It's Morsland, and Morsland's one of the largest growers of Riesling in the world, okay? And definitely in Germany. And Germany's the largest in the world. So what he did is he got together with an exporter called Weinbau, and they're one of the largest exporters from Germany to the U.S. They're U.S. based. So it's a German-U.S. partnership. It's 2004 was the first year that they produced this wine. They planted the vines in '99, and then they didn't do the wine until '04, or '98. What happens is with the slate, it's a very light soil. It's a lot of slate. So the vine has to go down deep. So it's excellent because it forces the root to go lower to get its nutrition, which gets its mineral taste. So as the water runs down from up top to the bottom, that's where you get, and then they blend the grapes. So they got the peach wine up there, they get more mineral, and they blend the grapes, and so they take all three different regions, and that causes it. And they'll actually, it's a very steep hill, 300 to 800 feet. They'll take out of the river basin, when it comes down, if any of the slate comes, they bring it up, and it's a very hard thing to do. They bring up all these slates, they bring them up, and they lay them, because they lay them in the vines. You need them there, because what happens is the sun comes down, it's a southeast exposure. The sun comes down, reflects off the slate, okay, and gives the in cool weather, that's enough heat for the grape to continue to grow. So the grape they picked this grape in October. So you're having a very long harvest. Like some of the ones we say they pick late September, late August, early September. This wine you pick October, mid-October, and in some cases they'll let it go to November, but that's extraordinary. But mostly October, and and like this 2018, 20%, the grapes were full, everything was good, perfect season, the right amount of water, okay? So, and the slate it's precious to them. It's everything. Without the slate, and the slate actually, is a heat reflector, like a solar heat reflector, right down to the plants, keep the plants warm. Now, the winemaker here, it's corporate owned, right? It's between two people. But the winemaker is Peter Mule. Now, Peter Mule worked for Dr. Husa, which is one of the better Riesling guys. He was well taught. He went to he comes from a family with a long lineage in winemaking. For years and years, generations, they've been making wines, and they've been winemakers. And he went to the most prestigious schools for viniculture in Germany, okay? And he was born and raised in Mosel, Germany, okay? I think it was town of Brat, which is it's a very small village in the heart of the wine region so this wine, we'll give it a test. I mean, and they're very strict in there when they do the maturations. Peter Mule, he takes the vines can be anywhere. They'll put them in. They'll hand pick them. They leave the grape only for 4 hours, and then they take the grape off. And a grape will be when you go to the store, you get a white grape, you get a pinkish grape, but not a dark. They'll be pinkish but they take the vine off. We say certain rosés, they'll mash the vine in there to get the red, to get the color. This 4 hours. 4 hours, the skin's off, they de-skin it, gently press it, 14 to 24 days in the wax. And then they do this sur lie, which is, we talk about where they rack them like you do with the Amarones, okay? They rack the grapes. Then they put them in stainless for 6 months. They put the lees, the right amount of yeast, the natural lees. They use the natural lees in it. They roll the grape. Then they take it and they bottle it for 4 months. Okay? And now, if you have a Riesling, okay, the color of this, you'll see, this is a twist off too. And these can go 8 to 10 years. Good Rieslings can go 20. The ones that they do in oaks and sit with them longer. Now, this is a little better than a straw yellow, okay? Now, if you let this wine sit in 6, 10 years, and you'll get more like as a turn. You see how it gets darker yellow? You get more like that. Now, these wines, because this was such a good vintage, you can drink a lot of the Rieslings you want to even sit for 2 years before you drink them, okay? This one's pop, pour, and go. I mean, it's a 2018 was such a good vineyard. All the vintages are saying that about it. You can smell the peach. It's not like a ripe peach. It's like when you think of peach, you gotta bring it all the way to your nose to smell it. Like an early Carolina peach. Definitely has it though. Definitely. It's not like a sweet. When they say sweet, most Rieslings, this is like a semi-dry. The only sweetness you're tasting is in that fruit. You're not tasting the sweet, It's dry. I would say semi-dry with peach, almost like a little apple in it. A pear, it's peach pear. But the peach is definitely there. It's there in the aroma too. Now, what they do is they make sure they get the must out of these. This doesn't have any must taste. You know, in some Rieslings, some of the better Rieslings, you smell petrol, they call it. You know, a gasoline smell. I'm not, that doesn't work for me. You know, but people love it, you know. It's a nice wine. It's a nice, clean, properly named, clean slate. Here's to all the teachers, the nuns, and Mr. Wintap with a clean slate. Yeah, see the top, you got a little spice, right? And what they say is, on that kind of thing with the Rieslings, is up top, it gives you the peach, they plant it, right? It's clean as soil, running down. As the soil runs down, then you get the spicy. It's got a little spice, not much spice, very little spice. You got to hunt for it. And then at the bottom, it does have the mineral. And the mineral is just the structure, you know? So it's not peachy all over. It's very direct, subtly direct. Subtly direct's like room for improvement, but this doesn't need room for improvement. This is good. Oh, we don't want to reflect too much back on school. Now this wine is excellent with, like when I say versatile, you can drink this with, just compliments, because it's got enough acidity and spice. It's very refreshing, this wine. This is a summer wine. And this wine you drink by yourself too. You know, you can drink it, you know, not by yourself, but you can drink this. Well, you can drink it by yourself, but you drink this without any, you don't have to pair it up with food. But if you were to pair it with food, if you were having Thai food, Asian food, Mexican, Spanish, spicy shrimp, right? If you're doing a Diablo even, like a shrimp Diablo in a white garlic sauce or something, right? Perfect. And this works with fish, works with poultry, works with pork. I wouldn't do it with a red steak, but everything else it works. That's a nice wine. Well, listen, everybody, have a great weekend. Well, it's not the weekend yet, it's only Thursday, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But listen, we got Memorial Day weekend coming up, and let's hope that everybody can take a little bit of break, take a couple hours, relax. For those, you know, for the first responders and everybody, just try to put your feet up in the backyard. It was just, you know, it's getting better by the day, I think, okay? It's getting better by the day, and let's say our prayers for all our heroes, okay? And take care. God bless. Talk to you tomorrow.